So it really depends on what the data and the person who has published the data allows you to do with the data. I went in and I added some layers to a map and notice that this USA Census populated places is sort of grayed out. And if I uncheck the box, it's the uppermost layer, but I didn't really see anything happen. What about USA supermarkets? So the supermarkets are this kind of bluish. So we need to figure out what we can do with this. Major cities, pretty cool. Can figure out what that is. Um, Change in temperature. Now when I hover, change temp 2050, all I see are three dots. More options. Okay. If I hit the little drop down, I'll see something here. If I click on it, I'm basically seeing the data values, the legend, and if I click the three dots, enable pop-up. That might be, oh, it shouldn't have done that. Select a layer, okay. Oh, it's not letting me do that. So this happens. Sometimes it looks like you can do something, but the person who published this data probably has not enabled the pop-ups. This is kind of an interesting one. When I hover over USA major cities, I have several more options. I have my three dots, which has typical, configure pop-up, create labels. Those are new. What if sorry, wrong one. There's no little triangle here, but there is a triangle here. Supermarkets, wow, there's some interesting things underneath that supermarkets. Back to major cities. So the major cities are the little circles that we see. And if I want to change the style, if I see those geometric shapes, that means that the author of the data allows me to change the style. So we can go in and look at some possible options as to how we might use a different style to display our data. Maybe a heat map. That might be kind of fun. And this is kind of showing up a little crunched because I'm using a smaller window to do the video. Notice, kind of some interesting things happened here. Done. And I'm back. Another interesting item is this filter. You can actually sort of create a query to add, to narrow down what your values are, and you can even use something where you ask people to fill in, and that would be that you want age 20 to 18 to 21 is at least, and then have a value, and you might prompt somebody to type in that value. Lots of options here. One that also sometimes works better than others is to click on the little table. If there's a huge amount of data, you'll get an error message here. But what's kind of interesting is that you can scroll through, and if you want, you can center on a selection or filter for certain items. Let's say I want to know, what is this city? I clicked on it. I want to center on that selection, so boom, notice the map is interacting with what I selected in this table. And USA census populated places, I'll betcha if we zoom in a little bit, yeah, that's what we had to do. We had to zoom in to try to see what we are looking at. So here we are, and if I click on it, sorry, And again, my window is kind of scrunched, so this one does have a pop-up that comes up, and this is the data that is available. We could filter for certain items, we could change the symbology, so depending on the data that you get, it will allow you or not allow you to do various things. When you've changed your map, you might want to save your map, and you've saved your map and you've logged back in tomorrow and you want to continue work, where is it? Click My Content. After you log in, of course, click on your name and you will see where your data is. You could look at when it was modified. Temperature predictions, not a very good name for that particular one. And then I will hover over the drop down and I'll say Open in Map Viewer. And it will open up exactly where I left off. Okay,